Hello everybody, this is that shy guy Matt, and today I'm doing another Matt's Rants. This is my third video, and today's subject is about, is America falling like Rome? For centuries, the fall of the Roman Empire has been ultimately a historical ghost story. Kind of like a cautionary tale of a superpower that crumbled from within, right? We all know, well, at least most of us know our history. And for like just as long, people have looked at their own civilizations and asked, are we next? So today that question is aimed squarely at the US. Is America following the same path as Rome? Now let's be clear, of course. History doesn't always repeat itself, but it often rhymes. No two situations are identical. Rome fell for a multitude of complex reasons over hundreds of years, but there's a lot of parallels in America now, and it's really unsettling. And you see more and more Americans actually, and even historians, saying America is pretty much becoming the next Rome. So in its later years, Rome was plagued by what felt like endless political squabbling. The Senate had become ineffective, embroiled in partisan fights. Emperors were often chosen by the military or through assassinations, leading to instability. I don't know about you, but a lot of that sounds familiar. The intense political polarization, the gridlock in Congress, the news cycle that's constantly going on. It's like a slow burning version of the same thing, right? I don't care what political side you're on. I really don't like to bring up politics on this channel, especially mine. But I will simply say I don't really have a specific political view. Even as a voter, it's very... I'm not like a right or a left person. But from my eyes, this country has become so toxic to the point it doesn't matter the ethic or morally right of either side, which one's morally or ethically right. At this point, we're both so busy calling each other the worst names possible that this is just leading to disaster in the end. Some say civil war. Some say we're the fall of Rome, whatever you want to call it. It's all leading down the same terrible path. Now, when you think about Rome's economy, it was gutted by endless wars, devalued currency, and inflation. The gap between the super rich and the poor was like a big chasm. Chasm. I can never say the word right. Much like with America, the middle class, which was the backbone of the empire, pretty much eroded. Now compare that to the US, where we have soaring national debt, the printing of money, and wealth inequality. It just hasn't been great for a long time now. Especially like the last 2 decades, things are just getting worse and worse. And again, you could blame one party or you could blame the other party, or whatever you want, but it doesn't change the fact that things are getting worse in general. More and more, the feeling that the system is rigged, to be like for the top 1% is a more and more common view, I'd say. Now, granted, our American empire isn't territorial in the same way, of course, but with hundreds of military bases around the globe and our constant involvement in foreign conflicts and politics, the analogy of an overstretched, expensive military is just hard to ignore, right? And I get it's complicated because we're kind of like the world police, and some people are against some conflicts we're part of, some support other conflicts we're part of. But I feel like, you know how much our military budget is, how much we spend on all this stuff overseas. We really need to just focus on ourselves for a bit. Our own country is full of poor and starving and homeless and the economy's terrible. So then you get into like the social decay, and this one's tricky because depending on which side you're talking to, they both say the other side's decay or whatever. But some historians argue about Rome fell due to a loss of like civic virtue, like a focus on luxury, hedonism, and like bread and circuses over duty and citizenship, right? One could say the like modern equivalent is our obsession with celebrity culture, social media, reality TV, so on and so forth. The new, let's say, gladiatorial games is now our TikTok feed. It's designed to just distract us and entertain a population. I mean, I know it's a controversial argument, and maybe it's kind of stretching it, but the idea of a society losing a shared sense of purpose is like, it's a powerful one, right? Now, I'm not totally saying we are gonna fall. There are some other things, of course, to think about. Rome was a single centralized place that conquered and absorbed its neighbors. We are a federal republic, a system designed with check and balances, of course. Our states have significant power. The decentralization is a built-in shock absorber that Rome never really had. So, of course, there is that. On top of that, the Roman economy was largely built on slave labor. They hit technological plateaus. The American economy, for all its faults, is the most, I want to say, innovative and dynamic in history, driven by technology in a theoretically fluid capitalist system. We have a great ability to adapt and invent new industries. It's like one of our greatest assets, I think, which kind of leads into the idea of America. Rome was about conquest and assimilation, always growing its borders, always getting bigger, taking over things. America at its best is built on an idea. The idea of liberty, equality, the pursuit of happiness. I mean, we all know that, right? We all know these things. The idea has proven incredibly resilient and self-correcting. We have civil rights movements for all of our history. We've had protests. We've had free press. These are all in place to allow us to confront its flaws. Sometimes painfully, but we still move forward. Rome didn't have that. So, is America falling like Rome? The answer is it doesn't have to. The Roman analogy isn't like a prophecy. It's not a diagnosis. It's a list of symptoms we can recognize if we have the will. And if we have the will, treat. The fall of Rome wasn't an event. It was like a process. It was a really slow process. I don't think people realize how slow it was to fall. A death by 1,000 cuts, as they say. The warning for America is that we are showing many of the same symptoms: the political fever, the economic anxiety, the social fragmentation. But we also have the tools Rome didn't. We have a democratic system. We're innovative, and founding documents that allow for change. I'd say really the fall of Rome is a story about what happens when a society becomes unable to solve its problems. So the question for our time is not, are we Rome? The question is, do we still have the will, the courage, and the unity to solve ours? And many people I talk to on this subject, they sometimes don't know what to say to that. Again, some people will just blame one side and say, well, they're the cause for us to fall like Rome. The other people say, well, it's the other side. They're the cause for us to fall like Rome. But both sides don't realize that's the exact thing that helps cause it, is both sides blaming each other, calling each other the most worst things they can, getting to the point where they hate each other to the point like everything becomes a contest in hate almost, or almost like a childish temper tantrum. If somebody on side A dies, people make fun of it. If somebody on side B dies, somebody makes fun of it. If somebody on side A says something stupid, they make fun of it on the other side. If this person says something stupid, this side makes fun of it. And it's just this tit for tat, and something has to give eventually. And again, I've seen more people over the last probably like 4, 5, 6 years talk about it. America's headed down this dangerous path of becoming a failed democracy, a failed experiment, the great experiment that was America. So we really have to be careful. And again, this is why I'll be honest with the people watching. I grew up in a Republican house. I became a Democrat later in life, and then I kind of fluctuated between, and now I just get tired of both sides. I can't stand either side anymore. I don't know what to call myself, independent, moderate, I don't know. My views really change depending on what it is, social, economic, military, whatever. My views are my views are all over the place. All I know is I'm concerned about what this country has become, and that neither side could see what's the saying? The clearing through the trees, right? Where you see the path that's like, oh. And with a kid on the way in January, I don't want America to fall. I don't want a civil war to break out. I was born in 81. Back then, sure, we had other issues back then, of course. I'm not saying the 80s was a perfect time, but we were not this vile with each other as we are today. And again, I don't care what side you're on or who you want to blame. All I know is this country is falling apart, and it's kind of scary. Because if we fall apart, then what does that mean for democracy around the world? If the great American experiment fails, then what? Is there any hope for humanity at all? Because we can't get along here, and we can't get along in other countries. Humans are a terrible species when you think about it. We love to kill each other. We love to do terrible things to each other. We fight. I don't know. That's a whole nother video. But I'm just going to end it here. I try to keep these videos around 10 minutes. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are you more in the middle like me? Try to keep it friendly. I know there's going to be different kind of comments, and people might try arguing with each other and be like, oh, well, this is your fault side. That comment's stupid. And the other side's going to be like, well, no, this is your fault side. Don't do that. That's exactly what this video was about. None of this is helping. With that said, though, if you like this kind of content, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.